weekend with Mark Williams, who was playing with a new partner himself after playing with Scott Wong and having a good season last year.
And they are the Florida boys who won their first career AVP title together last year. Lambert on 2. And it's 9-6, Metzger and Lambert.
That's such a hard play, Coach, as you know, that coming from the right side, hitting that ball on 2 is very, very difficult, but he's one of the only guys able to do it successfully.
And it's even more difficult with Jake Gibb at the net trying to shut you down. One of the 2 best blockers on the tour. Both the guys on this court are the 2 best blockers on the tour.
And given all that we talked about with the new teams and the realignment on the men's side, the career leading team in wins is Furbringer and Jennings with 3.
The only top team to not change.
And that, of course, is active leaders. I know St. John's thinking, all right, I like 120, and Kart's going, 148, and I'm an active guys.
Well, the one that really left me, and a lot of people actually kind of scratching their heads, you might have mentioned it before, Todd Rogers and Sean Scott win the last 3 events, look really strong at the end of 05. Rogers breaks up with him to go with Phil Dalhouser to try to form a stronger international team. And that last play was called a double hit on Jake Gibb. Very tight call by the umpire, by the referee.
You know, Jake has such great hands. He does not understand it. That seemed like a normal set for him. And the only thing I could see that looked a little bit strange or different is he just turned a little bit, but not enough to make that a double hit. The referee called a double contact. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, here comes the replay. Look, he's facing the right way. His hands are together. You can't even tell. I mean, when he brought his hands down, they were a little different, but you can't tell on TV that was a double hit. In fact, I didn't think it was.
Now, speaking of doubling up, guys, Lambert and Metzger have doubled up Gibb and Rosenthal here. Long serve by Lambert will make it 12-7 in game 1, best of 3.
And this is the most Gibb and Rosenthal have been down this whole weekend. Pretty much dominating their competition, although they had a close match with Dax Holdren and Sean Scott earlier this morning.
Go! Good! Watch it! Watch. Lambert back to Metzger. Go, Metzger with the touch and a good finish.
13-7 game number 1.
And you mentioned it earlier, Mike, that Sean Rosenthal got a lot more serious about his training, signed up with a personal trainer. Jake Gibb got serious too with this team. He's even signed up Mike Dodd to be their coach. So they've got one of the great all-time players in their box, giving them a lot of experience.
Rosenthal with the finish. And speaking of the aforementioned Mike Dodd, let's bring Mike in. And Mike, Sean's dedication in the offseason was well documented. And so far, the tournament has gone well for them and your team today.
Absolutely. His dedication is paying off. His mental approach to the game, I think, more than anything, is paying off. He's holding himself, I think, to a higher standard, and that is only going to pay him dividends as the season progresses. This is just the first tournament, and he's gotten a good start going.
And I notice he has hair this year. I didn't recognize him.
Well, he's playing some real good defense right now. He's holding his spot on the court. He's being disciplined. And like I said, his mental attitude, both he and Jake, it's just been an absolute joy to coach him and be with him down here on the court.
Mike, one more thing. You know, Rosie last year was blocking and playing defense, and I think it kind of hurt his ability to concentrate on his game. But now that he's playing defense behind the block all the time, do you think this is going to help his game?
Oh, absolutely. I think any player, either blocking or playing defense, if you're allowed to do that every play during a match, you're going to get the rhythm better, you're going to feel better, you're going to get it in the players' heads better. And Sean is definitely just taking rapid strides as a defender.
Hey, Mike, now Karch won with Steffes in 1990 here. St. John and Randy won in 1991. You're much younger than these guys, though, so you won a lot more here, didn't you?
Well, you know what? We had a lot of good times here in Fort Lauderdale. I'd have to look back in the record book to see if Tim and I or Whitty and I ever won here, but it was always a good time, I guarantee you that.
Mike, we look forward to having you here every week this year. Good luck this season.
That'd be a dream come true. Thanks, guys.
Mike Dodd, one of the all-time classics, along with the men sitting in the booth next to me, St. John Smith and Karch Karai, and great history and personality here in Fort Lauderdale when it comes to the AVP Tour.
Well, Rosenthal is such a great physical talent. It was hard to watch him, and not being able to really control that talent all the way through an event and win events consistently. But now I think he has a good opportunity. The fact that he's concentrating on one part of the game on defense is going to really help.
Well, Mike, you mentioned it earlier. He had really never played organized volleyball, and some people think of that as a negative, but you could also look at that as a tremendous positive. He has so much potential with even just basic coaching that, and a lot more than that he's getting from Mike Dodd. The finish of this play, Stein Metzger going for the absolute heat down the line, but missing it by a few inches. But Rosenthal has such tremendous potential that with any coaching whatsoever, he has a huge upside.
Hey, Stein on that last dig, I actually played against Stein, and the one thing that killed me was he could be running in one direction and stick out those long arms and dig the ball running across the court. The ball be going in the other direction. Unbelievable.
Rosenthal and Gibb trying to make a move right now. Stein with a half dozen digs already, including a moment ago when he could not finish on the other side. But Gibb and Rosenthal trying to get back into game one here. Here's Stein. Rolls it over the top of Gibb. Gibb on two, and the finish. So a good rally being put together here by Sean Rosenthal and Jake Gibb.
And that's one of the things that Stein Metzger does really well, is digging below his waist. But look out on this one. He had those hands below the waist, and it was not coming back up off the noggin.
He's still laughing about it out on the court. He got in the right position. It just got him in the head.
I think that helps him actually get more digs because he positions himself so well, and he does keep makes the hitters hit it right in the breadbasket in the pocket there, but he doesn't get that many high digs as a result.
Now Stein, the elder statesman here on the court right now at 33 years old. We've got a timeout on the court. And right back in game one are Sean Rosenthal and Jake Gibb. This is the AVP on FSN.
Hi, I'm Kenny Rogers. As the gambler, I've come to appreciate the kind of casino where real players play.
LA and Orange County residents, it's double cover at Barona Valley Ranch Resort and Casino in San Diego. Through April 30th, join the club, play the slots for 2 hours, and we'll double your winnings up to $200. Or cover your losses up to $200. With Club Barona, either way, you win.
Are you in?
New Club Barona signups only. For complete details, visit Barona.com or call 866-8-BARONA.
Take the Victory Challenge and see why we're the fastest growing motorcycle brand in North America. Test ride a Victory, take home a limited edition t-shirt. With over 300 dealers nationwide, taking a test ride has never been easier. Dare to compare. Victory, the new American motorcycle.
The conditions look killer. I'm hungry. Big Wave Burger.
People would do anything for an Island's Big Wave Burger, made with our own recipe of fine beef and 100% fresh ingredients.
We should go snowboarding tomorrow.
Come to Islands and enjoy a Big Wave Burger today.
Make it 8. And Gino, sweet dig. Looking to go to 11. Not a great set to work with. Kent went and got it. And Gino, another spectacular dig. Can he put it away? Yes!
Karch Karai and Kent Steffens win their 62nd tournament as a team in 1995 in Fort Myers. Our Cuervo Gold Crown AVP flashback. And I'll tell you what, when you're taking that trip down memory lane, I mentioned 1990 when Karch and Steffens won in their second event together here in Fort Lauderdale, the first of 75 total wins as a team. And the next year, St. Jim Smith and Randy Stoklos victorious here. Who will win game one? Will it be Lambert and Metzger or Rosenthal and Gibb? Gibb to serve. 12-15. And a good cut by Stein, and really right there, guys, Lambert and Metzger were in dire need of a side out.
And Stein breaking out a shot he hasn't used this whole game to do that soft, what we call a cut shot over Jake Gibb's block. They had changed it up a little, Jake Gibb taking the angle on that play.
Yeah, and Sean was playing good defense, but he made a move a little early, and it allowed Stein to take a look and just make the easy shot to the cross court.
Metzger to serve. Rosenthal. Would it be safe to say about Sean Rosenthal that before this season he played on athletic ability, he had that great personality, had fun, used his God-given talent, and now that he's with one of the best players in the world, he is going to transform into a true professional?
Well, I think
and not in a critical way.
I think he already was a professional, but he is definitely have higher expectations now, playing with a world-class player like Jake Gibb, who's already had some really high international finishes also. A player like Jake Gibb who aspires to compete in the Olympics. And so they're going to be playing internationally a lot this year. And Sean's going to have to respond and play a new respond to that challenge of traveling more and playing.
Rosenthal, and he finishes, and with more on Sean Rosenthal, back to the sand and Mary Strong.
Well, you've been talking about the new Sean